friends. Here's an example of a run play. Outside zone. Now, this could be discussed for quite a while. So I come out in a smash concept with a drive on the backside. So I have number 11 there, running a corner, breaking it about 10 yards. I have number 1 running some sort of kind of speed out with a sit. So he's going to run at about a 45-degree angle, maybe a little bit shallower, and then sit right at the numbers at 5 yards. Then I have a 10-yard in from 18 and a shallow cross or drag by 88. This is not particularly good look against that. It could work, I guess, but I didn't want to do that, so I audibled to outside zone, strong side outside zone, because their backers are loaded to the weak side. They're both between the hashes, and the ball is on the hash, so we're flowing in the opposite direction. So outside zone here, everybody is moving to the play side, including the tackle there. I didn't know if the tackle was going to do it this time, but including the tackle there, everybody's moving to the play side. So if you're covered, meaning there's a guy in your gap, or like head up on you, or to the play side of you, you block him. If you are uncovered, meaning there's nobody head up on you and nobody to the play side of you, you climb. And I don't really like how it's done in this game. So 67 here is climbing to that backer, as he should, ignoring that man climbing to his backer. 76 here is hitting that one tech, as he should, right? 75 is double teaming him, but he stays in that double team way too long. He should really be looking at that backer and climbing to him. 64, he is blocking that man. 18 and 72 are doubling the end man. And then the other tight end is climbing up to that. I guess that's a corner. Climbing up to that corner. Everything here is good except for the center. The center kind of fucks up. He really should, if he's going to block, he should just be doing a little chip, getting off like right now and climbing to that backer, but he doesn't. Anyway, that's how the blocking is supposed to be. There's a bit of a misstep here, but this misstep illustrates one of the strengths of outside zone. Now you hear outside zone, wide zone, whatever you want to call it. Some people call it stretch. They're all a little bit different, but you know, different names doesn't actually mean that they're different plays. Sometimes people will call it stretch and then teach it like wide zone. Sometimes people will call it outside zone, teach it like wide zone. Sometimes people will call it wide zone, teach it like stretch, which is more man blocking. Sometimes people will call it wide zone, teach it like outside zone, which has a wider aiming point. But wide zone is what I'm trying to run here. The back takes a path to the foot of the tight end, the inline tight end, so number 18. He goes 1, 2, 3, gets the ball on the third step, and by the third step, you know where you're going. Instead of being a straight outside run, now I guess I could have ran outside here, but that's not what I'm trying to do with this play. Instead of being a straight outside run, it's about getting a horizontal displacement on the defense and cutting upfield. So what should have happened here is this backer should have been blocked off by 75. I should have had a very clean cut up. and just ran through that A gap. Instead, that doesn't happen, and this backer is free release into this B gap here. Now, if that backer was cut off in the A gap, I probably would have just ran straight through here, through this B gap. That's what I was intending to do. I thought this backer might even shoot that A gap, but he doesn't. He pursues to the B gap. So I cut up. It's a little late. You want to see where you're going by the third step, fourth, fifth step. You want to cut. I cut. I guess I cut on time, but maybe you can argue that's a step late. But anyway, cut upfield in. I'm off to the races. It is over for them big time. The defense has been totally and completely displaced horizontally. Everybody is flowing away. This backer over pursues. He should. If I'm looking at the responsibilities of this backer here right now, we have C gap, B gap, A gap, A gap, B gap, C gap. This guy's probably D gap, but maybe he's not. It's either this guy or this guy is D gap. This guy or this guy is outside contain. This guy is probably D gap. This guy's outside contain. This guy's probably not in the fit. That's what I would guess this is. But instead, this backer over pursues, does not maintain gap integrity, pursues to the B gap, vacates the A gap, allows me to cut upfield, and this play goes 4. Let's see how far I go. I go untouched to the 7-yard line, and I bring the ball to the 4. And I start on the 25. So that's a pretty good run there. That is a nice run. That's a 21-yard gain. With you know, a substantial amount of yards before contact. It's like almost 20 yards before contact. It's like 18 yards before contact. Unless, who knows if the game is going to credit somebody with touching him here. I don't think so. This also showcases sort of weakness with the wide zone. This running back is very fast. I'm pressing that gap right now, but if he was a little bit slower, this would have been much easier to press. But he's fast. So if your player is fast, there's obviously more upside. But it becomes more difficult to run it. This guy's fast as a motherfucker. Also, look at how beautiful that little jump cut. Right through the hole. Beautiful. Anyway, that's how you run wide zone. Now, if you're playing CFB, I guess you're playing UMass. The UMass playbook has a good amount of under center. So there's probably some wide zone in there. But if you are playing anybody else, or even UMass, a lot of the game is based out of the shotgun. And wide zone of the shotgun sucks dick and balls. You can make it work, but I really dislike it. If you're playing under center, then that's how you run wide zone. You're on the 3 steps, identify. 5th step, you should be on the track or cutting. And you're sort of reading the displacement of the backers and seeing which gap is freest. If there's someone to cut, you cut. If there isn't, you just sort of continue on your track. You should be hitting the aiming point, the natural aiming point, I guess, is technically the C gap. You could bounce outside to the D and go play side B or A, cutting all the way past the center is kind of a big ask. It's physically possible, but it's a big ask. And then cutting into the backside B gap, just basically not, you're not going to do it. Big part of the wide zone here too. You see this defensive end coming up, shuffle, shuffle. If you're doing this run play here, you're coupling it with play action passes. So you go, you keep, and you boot back after. Now in this case, he's not booting. He's just faking like he still has the ball. I would prefer to see him boot out, the boot action. But that's to hold this end. If the end is consistently crashing, a boot here would give your quarterback a free release outside. If he is not consistently crashing, you're essentially turning right into him when you boot, which can be difficult, to say the least. This can be assisted by blocking him, but generally you don't want to do that. Also, what you could do instead, I don't think there's any plays in the game like this, but in real life, if you have this offset tight end here, you can run wide zone and then have him pull across and take that end. So it's like split wide zone. Or you can run wide zone, pretend that tight end isn't there. You can run wide zone to the weak side. And pretend the defensive linemen, the backers and everything are totally different. If you're running wide zone to the weak side, he is kicking him out. He is climbing to the second level. He is blocking that nose. He is climbing to the second level. He is blocking out on that 3-tech, and this tight end is blocking out on that end. Everybody is good. There's just two different ways to run it. Strong side wide zone like this and an alignment like this will keep that end unblocked. Weak side wide zone, if I were to flip it, would block that end. And you would have different people climbing to different backers. So it looks like this would be a bad thing to run. And technically, I would agree. I would probably motion that tight end across to the other side of the line. But you'd have this guy blocking this corner. In my opinion, a waste of time. This guy would end up blocking number 57, and this guy would end up climbing to number 58. So everybody's accounted for. It's just that the angles are somewhat difficult to work with. But that's how this play works. I like to couple wide zone with duo. Now duo would be you're on the same track, but instead of everybody going the same way, this guy will block out on this defender. You're getting a straight double team by the guard in the center here. You're getting a straight double team by the guard and the tackle here. 18 is blocking out on this guy. You might even get a little chip block from 88 who then goes up. Then 64 is climbing up to the backer, and 76 is climbing up to the other backer. You might actually aim for the B gap instead of the C gap, doesn't matter, but that's more of a man blocking. It's like no pullers, but you're running power. So you have, instead of a front side double team, I don't know why I'm replaying it. Instead of a front side double team and the puller coming from the backside, you're having two double teams, front and backside double teams, who then pull up to the backers. Anyway, over and out, butt ass. I'll probably go into more detail when I stream this.